Welcome to another exciting episode of DERB's Electronic Repair Bench.
Good evening, YouTube. I am back with you once again. I'm going to try to make this a lot more succinct, and I want to get just the points of interest and points that I need to put into this video, and leave all the flapping out. I'm going to try to do that anyway, so that it's not so long. 30 minutes was a bit long for that previous video, but I did have a lot of ideas I had to cover and things like that, so it's not that bad, I guess. Anyway, this one, like I said, I've already done some filming on this where I cut the circuit board, and I will show you that before we get into what we're doing after this. But like I said, I've got everything pretty much planned out, I think, and even if I don't, we'll plan it as we go. So by the time I make this, and this is the evening before, but I think my rectifier should be here in the mail. Hopefully when I get to working on this tomorrow, the girls will be here. Tomorrow's evening's Wednesday evening, so it's their evening. Of course, Lexi's working. Just me and Kylie for dinner, and Lexi did finally admit that she thinks it's best if she just eats something light before she goes to work, instead of trying to fix a dinner for her and then for ourselves and things. So hopefully that will carry on. And it may not be fair to her, but she's making money, and you know, she's getting to do things she wanted to do, so I think it'll be all right. Like I said, it's just I don't even know. I think we're having some kind of banquet meal that Kylie gets. I don't know exactly what it's called, but anyway, we'll do that, and that's probably all we'll do. So we'll be back here with the footage right after this. Alright, back again. Doorbell, I had to answer the door. My landlord, he wanted to check on the job that they did on my door. I had the bottom weather stripping come off on it about a week ago, and he sent a guy to fix that yesterday. So anyway, he was just checking on that. Like I said, as I started to say or something, this is the board before I cut it, and I scored it along these lines, these holes here, and then boom, came off. Pretty much easy like that. So that's step number one, I guess, actual construction step number one. This is not going to be posted until tomorrow. I'm doing it today. I felt like doing a few things today, and the video that I did to begin with on getting the planning for this turned out to be way too long. So I hacked it down as best I could, and I came back in here and decided to go ahead and look at some things and see what I could do. And like I said, this was one of the things I could do, so I want to get that in and see how that's going to fit. You can see it pretty well even with the top there, so that should fit really nice. I'll put the top on here if I can. There's a little bit of a, may have to cut the sides down just a little bit to get it to fit in there just perfectly. But anyway, that'll be what it's going to look like as far as that's concerned. And I can go ahead and get my measurements now for the center here to start cutting on the meter hole number 1, hole number 2. So that's all I'm going to do with that. Basically just get that in there like that, and get me a mark here so I'll know the center, or the where the I should say the circuit board is. And I think I can do that with a marker. If I had a marker, I could do that, but now for some reason it's gone missing. Alright, there, that is lined up now. And I can get me a mark here. There we go. And by the way, this was exactly where it's supposed to be up in this thing. I just didn't see it. I didn't look good enough. Let's see if we can, yeah, we can see that. You can see that on camera easy. It's not a perfect line. Didn't mean for it to be a perfect line. Just want to get an indication of what kind of area I'm talking about. And get some measurements here on the size of it. 1 7/8 is what I'm working with there, and my meter is basically 1 1/8. So 3/8 down from the top, 3/8 up from the bottom should put me in the right ballpark for that, and get me a center measurement also, and we'll go from there. So I think basically what I'm going to do is trying to outline the where I want to cut it, and maybe score it with the utility knife, and make sure I got a good mark, and then I'll take either the Dremel and come in and cut that out, or something similar to that. Alright, I'm cooking my dinner, and I'm taking a little time here to do this update on this. I was just playing around with the I had forgotten about the batteries. I stated that on the description for my last video, part A or part 1, whatever it was. But I think I'll be alright, because if I put 2 batteries side by side there, they will fit in there pretty easily, I think. I'm pretty sure. If nothing else, I can go up here with this, maybe. And, you know, there's always a possibility of putting it into the bottom. You know, I'm just trying to figure out, you know, exactly how much I'm going to need, because as you can see, that that will fit in there even above that, so that might work out just fine, I think. And if nothing else, I can go with a different style fuse holder. I'd like to put a cover over this, in other words, so where the batteries just sort of fit in there like that, and they don't move around much. That's a plan I have, and don't know if I'll get it going, not, but sure, that's the plan. These things I may use as a binding post. I may just drill holes through these, and that will remove these basically, and put the binding post right there. I'm thinking about that. That's just one of the things I'm thinking about. I just, like I said, while my noodles are cooking, and I think they're done. I wanted to get this through, and I'm going to be working on this more. This is not the end of this, obviously, so I will get back with you when I have more time to do it. So stay tuned. Alright, there you go. That's what they're going to look like. I'm going to try to put a spacer in between there as well as a cover over the top, and one right in the middle. And I kind of want to keep them apart. I'm not sure I have to, but I think I want to. Again, that's going to be that, and this will be on top of it. That's right against it. Now there will be a little bit of a cover over it, so I'm going to say it's going to be raised up that far, and not quite that far, but close to it. And that way we'll put this probably right on the edge, but that's okay. I don't care if it's close to the edge. You know, if there's just a little bit of it's not on in the you know, where it's supposed to be, that's fine too. And like I said, this I'm hoping though see, now there's a gap. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a gap right here. I see that, and I'm hoping that will be enough room for that switch to go in there and stick down, because I think that switch is almost as wide as this. and you know, whether that's going to work or not, I don't even know. I may have to put it up in here instead. Like I said, this is going to be a little difficult, but not impossible. It's just going to take a little more planning, I think, to get. And I think this part here is pretty much set. I don't think there's a problem with that at all. Again, the two what he calls are going to fit in there pretty easy. I think I did some measuring on this, and those are going to be mounted up here, so those won't be a problem. Those will be out of the way. Again, if this is there, we'll have to put the binding posts up here, you know, this area. But like I said, there's going to be enough area for both. The switch is right now the biggest problem I'm going to have. I can see that right now. So, like I said, I may be able to put it here and switch these meters over a hair this way. You know, if they came out to the edge of this, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I think I'm just going to have to wait and get the switches in before I can decide on this, because there's just not, the data is not there. I tried to find out the dimensions of the switch, but that led to nowhere. So, and you know, then again, I may be forced to use this smaller switch. As I think I mentioned, it is just an on-off switch. It's not a on-off-on type switch, so that would work in a pinch. Again, it's just not that heavy of a switch. So that will be our deciding point, I guess, is what I was going to say. I don't know if you guys noticed this also, that I shaved off the each side of this one here, so because there is a lip on that comes down there and will get caught on that, so I shaved that off just a hair, and that works rather nicely now. If I can get that on there, fits just like it's supposed to. No problemo. So that was good. And oh lordy, I think another thing I'm thinking after I put this stuff in here, I was gonna do the negative on the outside of the cap, and I'm not gonna do that now. I am gonna do that now. I'm going to put the negative on this side, and that will put the, I think if I looked at the correctly on the rectifier, I think that will put the negative on this side as well, and the two positives will be together in the middle, and that's kind of what I wanted. So although these are not going to go together right, you know, just like that, there's going to be other stuff in between, if you recall the diagram. So I need to print that up so I'll have it, because I don't have a copy of it. I have to go look at the computer every time I do that. So anywho, that is pretty much where we are at. Alright, we're back with you again. I have the I'll show you that pretty good there. That's the outline for the meter that I'm going to be cutting here. Let's try it one more time. Alright, got most of that cut out. This is a little messy. I guess you've probably gathered that. See what it looks like from the other side. Yeah, that's exactly where I wanted it. So I have to do the sides a little bit better, obviously. So let's get that going again. Alright, there's what it looks like. It's in there. Not crazy about it, but like I said, there's not the end of the world. Let me turn this around a bit. See what I'm looking at. You can see there's a space here and a space here, but again, time you put these in here, I don't think it's going to make that big a difference. As you can see, there's no big light behind it. So that's going to look nice, I think. I like it anyway. It's not perfect, but it's never meant to be perfect. None of this has been. So there's our first meter in place. Next I will be taking the I think I got a large enough piece. I think I got that piece to where I can use that to trace out the next one. I don't know what I did with it, but anyway, it was here a second ago. Anyway, that's what it's going to look like so far. Of course, the ammeter will be on the lower part. So that's gonna, now here, let me explain real quick what I came up with on my contention plan here in case the switch is too big. Let me move this over a little bit. So what I came up with is if that switch is too big to fit in there with these batteries like this, my plan is to take the batteries and stack them over here like this. Oops. Like so. That will give me all this space here to put the switch in. And like I said, this is going to be plenty of room here for this by the time you even add the other meter. That's plenty of room there. Now I do want to put this, what do you call it, back in and see how that fits in there with that. Hang on just a second, let me do that. And also came up with a little bit different on this. Instead of putting it in that groove right there, I'm going to put it behind the groove. Or actually here. Yeah, maybe here, I can't remember. Yeah, like that. So it just fits in there. It's loose, but I'm going to put some spacers in there. And I just want to see how this fits with that. And I'll see, now that fits perfect. Perfect. I like that a lot. So we're getting something done here. I'm glad of that. I was beginning to think we wasn't going to get anything done but talking. So, like I said, that's the way it's going to work. And if I have to, the batteries can be done that way. And I think I'll have enough room. I've already checked this once, but there'll be enough room to put the, I'll show you like this, because you can see the meters are the same size, so I can put that in there and still have room to close that thing. That works fine, so no problem with that. That can be down as low as I want it. So it can be under here, it could be under there. Well, I'm going to put the, what do you call it there, but it could be under here, like I said. And that come over here, switch here, binding post in here somewhere, and it will work. There is room, trust me. So what I'm going to do now is find that piece and mark this one out and cut that one. Thinking about maybe putting some filler in here. It's not a have-to thing, but I just think it would look better if I did. But all right, I'll bring you back when I have more. Alright, here's the rough cut on the second hole. It's not perfect, again, as we learned to figure that out from the last time. But, like I said, it will work. It may take some trimming on this one. I tried to make the center holes, or this side holes, to a little bit tighter, but I don't know if I succeeded at that or not. Not real sure. There you go. Now we'll take this, put this in here carefully. Yeah, it's too big the other way now. So that won't work. That's funny because that's just exactly the same size as that one. Apparently these are two different size meters. I may have to arrange these around a little differently. No, that's the same size, so. Alright, well, instead of getting that smaller, I got it bigger. I don't know how I did that, but I did. So I'll have to figure out something else on that. I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. I'll just take and bring this one up or this one down, whichever, and get a better lip in there to where it can fit on that. And once you do that, then this will stay in there, and as long as this stays in there, then see if I get it down here like this. I need about that much of a, yeah, that's right, about that much of a addition into the top of that. Get to work. Okay, I expected to have some problems along the way. It's only natural, so it's not the end of the world. We'll get this fixed. I look into that and come back with you later on and show you what I figured out. Well, as you can see, I messed up that bottom hole. So what I'm going to do is, I think, find me another piece of plastic, something like that, maybe a little bit thinner, obviously, and make me another, basically a plate to go over this entire area here. And yeah, if you can see that, plate to go over this entire area here, and have the holes for the meters cut out to exact specs instead of these rough estimates like I've been doing. That's what you do. That's what happens when you get in a hurry. But, you know, I wanted to get this thing going. I didn't want to take all year on it. So, anywho, that's what I'm going to try to find. It doesn't have to be real thick plastic, just something. Thinking about maybe a jewel case for a CD jewel case, something like that. That would work, I think. So, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this off here because it's getting way too long again. You guys have a great day, and if you have any better suggestions on this, please don't hesitate to say anything, because like I said, it's a bummer when you do stuff like that. But I thought I was making it smaller and I ended up making it larger, so that just didn't work. So you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. See ya.